What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and I am down here to talk about a few things going on in the news or the blogs or the world, trending topics. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. We are down here. Now it's 10:45 in the evening, and so, honey, you're gonna either get me in the early morning or the late night. Anyways, few stories. I wanted to talk about what is his real name. I think first of all, we need to start calling this man by his real name because um, the name, the vibration that comes around that name is just so low. Torrance Hatch. Torrance Hatch, better known by his stage name, Boosie Badass, or simply Boosie, an American rapper, singer, songwriter, actor from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, a Scorpio. What do you know? 38 years old. Uh, Looking at his pictures, you probably think that he would need to drink water, right? Probably doesn't look like he's the healthiest thing around. But he always, has something to say about things, everything, always has something to say. But the most recent thing that he had to say was about Lori Harvey. I don't know, it's just these group of men who just really have these really violent viewpoints on women and how they are taught to relate to women and how they lean into treating women badly and seeing how long she'll stay around to determine her worthiness, to determine whether she's a good one or not. They equate the amount of abuse that you endure with their capacity to, I guess, have you in their life, because they really don't love you and they really don't respect you and they really don't value you. So I guess to just be energy in their space, because that's it. So he had a lot to say about Lori Harvey and her dating practices and her being with Michael B. Jordan. First of all, he was on Vlad TV. Vlad is a non-black man who allows, no, they collaborate with each other. Black American men, mostly black American men, sit across from him and have these conversations and allow him to make money off of them and their words without even showing his face. I just want to look something up. It says DJ Vlad is worth $5 million. They show Boosie's net worth as and roughly $800,000. Anyways, he was sitting across from the agent known as Vlad, and I don't see how anybody black in hip hop can sit across from him and allow that vulture to make money off of them. But we have a group of men who feel that their proximity to someone like that increases their social value. So that's probably why they're on there. When in fact, he's just using you and lining his pockets and probably does nothing for the black community. Anyways, Boosie went on Vlad TV and said that I think we need to stop giving the women the power with situations like this. Girls keep saying it's goals, but this is not goals. We got to start giving the bachelors, the men who are running through a beautiful woman like this, the credit, who not housing her, running through her. The last time I went to Diddy's house, him and Boo was together. They dogs. I know Lori is a beautiful woman, but we got to stop giving glory to the women. What about the bachelors? She's not tied to none of them. What about the futures? What about the Trey Songs? Who are they bending through? Who are they really bending through these hoes? We got to start giving them credit instead of Lori. So he wants men to receive accolades for the amount of women that they run through. Doesn't that already happen? Isn't that how you guys are socialized? Isn't that why you guys are the most sexually repressed people with the most sexual partners with the most unsatisfied women? I'm just saying. That's what they teach you, not just black men, all men. They're socialized the same exact way. And that's what they teach you. How many notches do you have on your belt? Is that what it said? How to sow your royal oats or your wild oats is really what it is. You are socialized like that. So you've always gotten credit. Men have always been able to get credit for running through women. Men have always been able to get credit for being bachelors. George Clooney, Warren Beatty, Diddy. How many? We could name off all of these bachelors who get consistently rewarded with more women and more women and more women, no matter how awful they are, no matter how violent they are, no matter what. And there's no consequence for the bad behavior. Why? Because if a woman like Lori Harvey decides Future is not somebody that I want to be with, he probably is actually lowering my social status. So let me move on to somebody else. Let me start dating someone else who best fits my needs, right? That might not be how she's thinking, but there are women who should start thinking like that, and women who do think like that, right? Future, Trey Songs. Future, we already know that Russell Wilson is raising his son. And what I've come to the conclusion, oh, you wouldn't put her on your list. The music has. You got to look at the bachelors who hear her on somebody's song and be like, who everybody talking about? Watch this. I'm finna go get her. You got to give the bachelors some kind of credit. That is so ridiculous because that exists today. That exists. So what is he saying? We need to continue to villainize women for exploring their sexuality when in society, women are actually encouraged to explore their sexuality when it benefits men. But men aren't at all, which is why you have a lot of unsatisfied women in this world. Because all you doing is sticking and running through. Sticking and running through. Sticking and running through and smashing and just using all of these words that could be aligned with destruction and when you have sex with women. And then he says, I would never marry a woman like that. She would first have to agree to marry you, Mr. You probably need to drink some water with them circles underneath your eyes. I really can't talk, but them circles look dry. Them circles under his eyes look dry as hell. Moisturize. You probably don't exfoliate, and you probably haven't really cleaned your ass in probably about 15 years, because that's gay. Oh God. Oh my God. He said, but I wouldn't mind sleeping with her. I'm just trying to fuck. I want a beautiful, good girl. Boosie has 7 children. So you mean to tell me out of 7 women, you done ran through 7 women who decided to keep your dusty legacy going on, but You didn't, none of them were married, that none of them wanted to marry you. You didn't want to marry none of those women. 7 children, not married, unmarried. But you say you wouldn't marry somebody like Lori Harvey. Have you seen the man she's aligning herself with? And for you to actually make a comment like that, just like Lamar Odom making that comment about Chloe, like the door is still open if she's willing to. The amount of delusion is incredible. Incredible. I want a beautiful, good girl. Now, I have some notes here because I just didn't want to, forget. He's calling Michael B. Jordan a simp because we know in society that boys to men are also socialized to treat girls to women badly, right? And so much so that when a boy or a man is nice to a woman, other men will think that you are a simp, right? Unless you are doing some transaction. Oh, he's trying to fuck. He's being nice to her because he's trying to fuck. He's being nice to her because he likes her. Not just simply being a kind person, but in our society, boys to men are taught to relate to girls to women and treat them badly, right? Ignore her so she can like you more, right? On the playground, if he pulls your hair, he likes you. All of this stuff. I think Bambi was talking about that. I think I saw somebody's video and Bambi was talking about that. But it starts very, very early. It starts very early. Actually happened to my son today. He was having a little, conflict with his friends outside, and a girl came and helped him do something to get out of the situation. And the boys accused him of liking the girl just because the girl was being nice to my son. Like, it starts very, very early. 12, 11, on the playground, we teach our little girls, if he hits you, he probably likes you. Stop teaching them that. Stop it. Stop it. If he treats you mean, they probably like you. Stop. And I tell my sons, the people who like you don't treat you mean. So because I'm not responsible for how other children are being raised, I already know. So I need to tell my sons, when girls are taught that if they like a boy, to be mean to them. But if somebody is being mean to you, let them know I don't accept that kind of treatment as a way to show me that you like me. That's not acceptable. So that's what I'm teaching my sons. Anyways, somebody said Boosie got 6 baby mothers talking about Lori Harvey ain't wife material. Exactly. Like, who do you really think you are? But he has society to kind of co-sign him. He has other men who actually think like this. Yeah, somebody says Boosie is 38 with 8 children, 6 baby mothers, and diabetes. Oh, that's probably why his eyes are dry underneath. It was something going on. I thought he needed some water. And he obviously got too much sugar. Boosie is 38, looks 48, worried about a 24-year-old is doing with her pussy. It's funny because women are taught to explore their sexuality for the pleasure of men. But then when you actually are exploring it by your own terms, then you're considered a whore. Right? If you're doing it on your own, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. But women are encouraged to explore their sexuality. Men are not. So, and also more young women, and I'm so happy to see it. I'm so happy to see all of these young women on YouTube giving advice that I wish I would have had in my 20s. Let me tell you. Like, really giving really good advice to other young women about having high standards. Not even high standards, just having standards that if you can't meet, the standard is the standard. The standard is the standard. The standard is the average. So if you want to have somebody who exceeds those standards, if you want to be like that, you cannot have people like this. There are other men like this who think like this. And if a woman has high standards and decides that I don't want to be with this guy, he's not fulfilling my needs, he's not doing this, I spotted a form of abuse, I'm not dealing with that. Women who have worked on themselves are able to spot those things and make conscious decisions to say, that's not a relationship that I want to enter, right? Because I'm sure everybody was like, so many people were like telling Lori Harvey, do not get pregnant. And if you do, girl, you want me to push you down the stairs? What you want me to do? That's why I tell Diva. That's why I tell Diva all the time. If I say I'm not feeling well, he'd be like, Diva, you might be pregnant. I'll be like, baby, if I'm pregnant, we gonna name the nigga Jesus, okay? Number one. Number two, I'm gonna stand at the top of the stairs and I'm gonna count to 3. Push me on 2. We'll say it was an accident. Baby, no, do not have babies by these men. But girl, abort them babies. I'm sorry to say. Be like Simon and make sure that the dusty legacy ends with them. But they call men who are nice to women simps, right? And that's to discourage you, right? It's so sad that you have a community who is so resistant to excellence that they will make another man feel bad and call him names for being nice to women. But at the same time, it's going around saying, this is not somebody I would marry. I would marry. Nobody would want to marry you. Nobody would want to, no person in their right damn mind. You have to figure out if she was drunk. Are you doing this? Blink twice, girl, if you need some help. Because if a bitch is marrying Boosie, ugh. And I hope all 8 of them women or 6 of them women, however many women, have life insurance policies on him. Hello? I'm not playing at all. Men think so highly of themselves. Boosie, a never married, uneducated, hideously ugly man with 100 kids, thinks somebody is a simp. How will Michael B. Jordan live with that? Like, people being nice, even though personally I think it's a stunt, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, because, you know, the word on the street is that Michael B. Jordan doesn't really fuck with Black women, so maybe he's doing a rebranding. Now, what better way to do it? I mean, I don't know how old he is. I know she's 24. I don't think they're more than 10 years. I don't think he's more than 10 years older. Let's see, Michael B. Jordan, 34, 10 years. That's kind of sus, but I don't know. That's weird. Like, that's what I don't think it's weird. All the pictures are very, very staged and all that stuff. But be that as it may, he is being criticized by his peers for being nice to a woman, for being a simp. Russell Wilson, the same thing, and he's raising a whole child, somebody else's child. He's raising them, and y'all calling him a simp. What I think it is, I think happy Black women make Black men uncomfortable, because I think, like, when I was what was I reading? I can't remember what I was reading, and someone said that Sierra actually like he went down when he got with Sierra. He could have gotten better than that. And I think what's so ironic is that in our society, we have so many imbalanced, toxic men that the majority and like the pool of men is really, unfortunately, it's tainted with a lot of mess. And when you have a child by a man and maybe you got into the relationship unconsciously, right? Maybe you had a kid with him and you decided this is not the relationship that I want to be in for whatever reason. And now you are a woman with a child. Unfortunately, in our society, women with a child, unmarried, are deemed lower class or of lower value. You've lost value. And it's really sad because we populate society. And to say that because you now have a child, that you are lower because you don't have a man on the side of you. And I think that men like this want the women to stay in these type of situations because being enduring abuse and constantly waiting for somebody to grow up, or just all of these things that women do in relationships with men, I think that ride or die template, all of that struggle love template that a lot of people in our community operate from, it's just, I think a black woman being bitter and angry kind of gives them a sense of satisfaction. And so when they see the opposite and a sense of satisfaction so much, they it's so clear, because the first thing they come at you with is that you're bitter and you're angry and this and that, right? You've come in contact with a man, you have a baby, you decided you don't want to be in that relationship, and somehow something is wrong with you. You should have chosen better, right? You should have chosen better. You should have chosen better. I think that our community of men have, and women have gotten used to enduring abuse as some type of expression of love and being that ride or die. But I wanted to play this woman who said, she made a comment on him or Boosie talking about Lori Harvey. And what she said was exactly how I feel. I shared it on Instagram, but I want to play it so you guys can hear.
See, I wasn't even going to get up here and say nothing, but I had to say something. See, nowadays, a good woman is portrayed as a woman who stays down throughout a man's lying and cheating and disrespect over the years, and a woman who don't. And if she picked the wrong dude, she pick again. Now she's a hoe, she's ran through. And it don't make a difference because she moving on to a different celebrity. Every woman who had their shit together know, when you have your own money, your own cars, your own cribs, you don't want to fuck with a man who don't. Y'all be so mad and so pressed when a woman ain't hurt, bitter, and whining on the internet and crying over no dude and she's respectfully moving on. Y'all applaud the weaker women for sticking with y'all for years and loving y'all through all of these bad times and holding y'all down, but then bash the strong women who ain't going for none of that shit.
And my thing is, if a woman leaves a relationship for whatever reason, why is the automatic assumption that she's bitter? Because if she's bitter, that would mean that she wanted somehow to either stay in the relationship, or she's angry at what she went through, or she's upset that she picked the wrong person. And I think we should start allowing people to be upset. I think we should allow people, for a while, as long as you don't create an identity of that and you keep re-victimizing yourself over and over, there's time where you're just going to have to do the work and get past it, because there's so many women who share the same stories and they're all similar and they're all being told to choose better. They even go on shows, right? They go on shows and have professionals pick for them, right? And they're also told to choose better. Choose better. So if I'm not choosing better, and when I say I'm speaking for women. If I'm told you need to choose better, and the professional that on one of these reality shows that picked the partner for this woman and that he turns out to be ain't shit. So if the professionals aren't picking them correctly and need to choose better, and the women, when they do it on their own, need to choose better, who else is left? So why is the probability so high for a person to have to choose better than to just pick one who's already good? Why is it so many choose betters and so much divorce and so much breakup and so much fatherless homes and so many unmarried black men with a bunch of children? Ain't married one woman. You got 6 baby moms and you ain't married one. They're not good enough to marry. Or maybe they don't want to be bothered with your dry patch face ass. But you're going to say that you wouldn't marry somebody like Lori Harvey. That's the crazy part of it, right? And then that's when the people start getting delusional, and when they start coming and then the average men, right, who are online and looking at these things, they come at it from a perspective as if they would have had a chance. First of all, you don't even have the money. You probably don't have the dick. You probably don't have the mortgage payment. You probably don't have the car payment. You probably don't have any access to any resources. And you're positioning yourself as if you can attract a woman who has high standards. I sound like B. Simone, huh? You need to get your shit together before you start acting like you can partner with somebody of the likes of Lori Harvey. Yes, we're telling her, go out, date, girl, date, 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 date. And I think that's the reason why people have an issue with Sierra, is because she is actually supposed to be running after Future right now, trying to get attention from him, having him in court and shit. That's what they want her to be doing. But instead, she went on and found a heart-centered man to love her, her children, and to be scared to lose her. And somehow, he's a simp. He's a sucker. Isn't that crazy? So how are you coming from a community that tells women to choose better, and when they choose someone who's nice to them, y'all talk about the nigga like he ain't shit? Where does that make sense? That's why I be saying the shit is psychotic to me. It's psychotic to me. Not only that, Boosie has admitted to having his underage boys sexually assaulted by adult women so they can get a little piece. This man has 8 children. This man is the father to 8 children. That's all I have to say about that. Killer Mike. He got dragged today on Twitter because he told somebody that he has never called Atlanta Wakanda. Somebody said, I grew up in a total... Wait a minute. First, here was the tweet. Always, it's so offensive when people like Tip and Killer Mike call Atlanta Wakanda. Killer Mike comes back and says, I never called Atlanta Wakanda. I called Atlanta Atlanta. I also remind blacks with a lowercase b, it has been an economic fort for blacks with a lowercase b since the Atlanta Conference in the early 1900s. Please fact check when criticizing or risk being called stupid or a liar. Be well, don't lie, Black power. And then somebody said, this you?
Did you realize how special Atlanta was back then as far as like having all that black representation?
I did, because my family's from the deep south.
All right.
When you get shipped to the country in the summers, then you understand how lucky you are, how fortunate. But most of my friends didn't. They didn't have any idea. So I grew up really with us in power. I grew up in Wakanda. But growing up in Wakanda, I got a chance to see we do good and bad. We make good politicians and bad politicians.
When you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it. However, I understand that a lot of others do. But we can't do this here. This is Wakanda. It's sacred. It must be protected.
That sound like the 2 niggas who use big words calling Atlanta Wakanda. It's really wild because, you know, Wakanda's image of Wakanda is a prosperous city, a prosperous country, prosperous, right? According to welfareinfo.org, the poverty rate, the poverty rate in Atlanta, Georgia is 22.4, and 1 out of 4.5 residents in Atlanta live in poverty. Wakanda forever. Also, it says 33% of Black Americans or Black people living in Atlanta, Georgia, are living below the poverty line. So I don't know how you can call it Wakanda. I don't know. I'm not actually sure at all. And he got dragged. He gonna call somebody a stupid liar when you've actually said it. When you've actually said it. So this discussion around Dr. Dre and Apryl and Nicole Young saying that she sees one of Dr. Dre's harem wearing her clothes. I don't know who it is. I hope no one is actually in that woman's marital home putting on her clothes. That has got to be the lowest shit I have ever heard in my fucking life. That's disgusting. That's so gross. So gross. So fucking gross. But I wanted to talk about Apryl because she's been in the news a lot, Miss Apryl Jones. She's been in the news a lot, and recently she was talking about Omarion. And this is from Hollywood Unlocked. In an exclusive interview with Madame Noir, Apryl Jones revealed that she only joined Love and Hip Hop with Omarion to dispel rumors about his sexuality. And she said, yeah, I think people feel like they saw you in one way. This is the interviewer, when you first joined Love and Hip Hop Hollywood with Omarion. And then after the relationship ended, you returned to the show and it seemed like you flipped. I guess people thought that was disingenuous. That wasn't the case. The whole situation with me and O on Love and Hip Hop was completely controlled. I never even wanted to do the freaking reality show. His management thought it would be good for him to show who he was and his life because there were gay rumors. So to show he was in a relationship with a woman and having kids and all of that, they thought it would be great. If you love somebody, you're going to do it. But it's just very controlled. And she went on. I'm not going to read the whole thing. First of all, I don't know why she's in the news so much lately. And I do want to talk about how people are talking about this Apryl Jones and Dr. Dre thing. I'm going to come back to that. But with Omari, right? I felt like, I don't know how you thought you were going to dispel gay rumors by having children and being with a man. That doesn't mean he's not gay. That doesn't mean he's not gay. That doesn't mean he is. Number one. Number two, if he's not gay, she did not say he's not gay. She just said, I was there to help him dispel gay rumors. First of all, being gay, a man being gay in our society in 2021 should not be a salacious story. It should not be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? Somebody being gay who was living as straight, honey, they do it all day. They do it all day. The higher beards all day. That happens all day long. All day long. So I don't think that it should be such, oh my God, she said she was dispelling gay rumors. You know how many women can come out in Hollywood and say, I was with this man so I could dispel gay rumors about him? Come on. It shouldn't be a salacious story. It really shouldn't be. Not in 2021. Come on. Everybody's gay. I'm just saying. It should not be a shocker to anybody. But I think because we just really live in this anti-gay society so much, and for black men, it's really still a stigma because, like, why would you want to be feminine? Because they equate being gay with femininity, right? Why would you want to be feminine? You're a man. Same thing, they have an issue with trans women. You were born with a penis. Why in the world would you want to live your life as a woman? Why would you want to change your identity to a woman? Do you know how women are treated in this society? Why in the hell would you do that? So they mad. They mad. They mad. A lot of them mad because they can't live in their own damn truth. That's another story for another day that I would love to have, but we're not going to do it today. But come on. It should not be a shocker. It should not be headline news. Nobody should be running like, oh my God, oh my God. You should be like, oh, okay. Oh, he's gay, okay. Oh, she was trying to dispel rumors. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. It's not a shocker. It's not a shocker. How do you, I always say that Omarion got with Apryl because he thought that he was going to be like Orion and get him a Janae Eichel, and he got a fucking tornado. He didn't get that. You thought you was going to get you an exotic and she was going to act like Janae Eichel, be singing bowls and shit. No, this bitch chooses violence on a daily. Okay? She not doing none of this and none of this and none of this, honey. And we see Omarion. We see him lately, like in the past 2.5 years. Seems like he's on this spiritual journey. And he seems really unbothered by all of the antics. I think, I don't know if he's responded to anything. I doubt that he will, because it's like, okay, big deal. If he is, if he's not, what's the fucking big deal, right? It might ruin some fantasies for a lot of women, because it's so funny, because a woman can see an attractive man, and when she finds out he's gay, she feels like she can no longer be attracted to him because he's no longer available to her as a partner. It's so weird. People are fucking weird. It's not a big deal. If he is gay, if he's not, who gives a fuck? It's 2021. Everybody gay, child. But I wanted to talk about Dr. Dre and the conversations that are happening around Dr. Dre, and how and Apryl Jones being together, and how it's so centered on their ages. It's so centered on just things that have nothing to do with anything, very surface level things. How did she get with him? How long they've been together? All of these questions, and no one's saying, nobody, not even Claudia Jordan. I've seen a clip, but I don't know if Claudia, but Claudia's pretty good at calling people out. But I have a feeling she wasn't operating from that space. No one has said, why is she with him? He is violent to women. Everybody trying to figure out the ins and out of this. Oh my God, they're in a relationship. No, the question should be, yes, we're back today and we see that Dr. Dre is with Apryl Jones. Apryl, why are you partnering with a man who is a known woman beater? Girl, don't you feel that you are owed something more? You can find another man with money. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's how the conversation should go. Nobody should be encouraging that relationship. Nobody should be trying to figure out the ins and outs. We should be asking, why does it exist? Why is any woman partnering with him? He should have a damn gate around him that nobody can get to him, and he can't get to anybody else. Nobody should be partnering with Dr. Dre at all. He's a violent man. And it's sad, because this young woman, I don't know if she thinks that this is some aspect or some sense, she wants to get some sense of security from this very wealthy, powerful man, right? Because, Moniece came out, and then she came out and she said her shit, and then she put something on Instagram saying that she can't really talk and she needs to take a break and this and that, because she basically like she's being silenced, and it's really sad. And then it's like I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about it and talking about Monique's getting threats, and Charlemagne goes, "Or is she sure it was Dr. Dre?" Stop right there. The first thing you should say is, that sucks that she's being threatened for talking about shit that everybody else talks about. I'm talking about it. Charlemagne and them are talking about it. Is anybody being threatened? Somebody should say that what is happening to her is wrong, not you taking a position to defend somebody that you don't even fucking know. You might think you know Dr. Dre, but you don't know Dr. Dre. Ask Nicole about Dr. Dre. She's the motherfucker who knows him. And she's told us that the nigga has put a gun to her head twice. We know what happened with him and D. Barnes. You know what happened to Michelle A. You know what happened to his first child's mother. So this man has a pattern of behavior, and people are talking about it like, oh, like Apryl, oh my God, she's just going from guy to guy. No, we should be like, Apryl, girl, blink twice if you need some fucking help. And if any bitch is in that lady's house putting on her fucking clothes, y'all some raggedy ass bitches. That's it. Y'all just full stop with that. That's raggedy as hell. No scruples. None at all. That's so disgusting. So disgusting. Anyways, tell me what you guys think of Lil Boosie. Tell me what you guys think of Lori Harvey and the situation. Killer Mike is saying that he has never called Atlanta Wakanda. It's not Wakanda. Even if you did call it Wakanda, even if you think it's Wakanda, if 1 out of every 4.5 people is living under the poverty line, that's not Wakanda. And then let's talk about Apryl, Dr. Dre, and Omarion. It's like, that's like, girl, give me a break. Anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Good night.